So you hear these words a lot, gluten-free, but what does that really mean?
It's going to make a difference with your health, potentially, and sharing some gluten-free bakery products in the CI kitchen today is Janet Lund, who's the owner of Bootin Gluten Bakery and Market. Good to have you.
Nice to be here.
What is gluten?
What gluten is it is a protein that is in wheat, barley, and rye. Those are the only grains that it's in. The problem is that companies put it in everything.
Right.
As thickeners, fillers, and just for because. So it's in a lot of things. And the problem with it is, especially for a group of people that have an autoimmune disorder, it's not an allergy, it's an autoimmune disorder called celiac disease, when they eat even a tiny speck of gluten, literally less than a crumb, it causes their body to turn on itself, and it causes it to damage the intestinal lining, the little villi in your intestines that absorb all your nutrients. So because of that, malnutrition basically, it can cause any of one or several of around 300 different symptoms and diseases.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And there's a varying degree of sensitivity to it. So you have people that
there are those who have celiac disease, and some of them actually have what they call silent celiac, where they get the damage inside, but they don't have any noticeable reaction when they eat gluten. So that's kind of rough because they don't know when they've been contaminated.
Right.
Then there's a group of people who are what they call gluten intolerant. And they have a lot of the same symptoms as people with celiac disease, but they aren't getting that intestinal damage. So, but they feel better. A lot of them have all the common things are the intestinal problems. Bloating, heartburn, constipation, diarrhea, you know, all these uncomfortable things.
And that's led to this explosion in gluten-free cooking.
Yes.
And that's something that you're specializing in.
That is what I specialize in. And then what I also try to do, obviously, you want goodies to taste good, and you want them to feel good in your mouth. So that is my #1 priority, that everything tastes like what you're used to or better.
Texture, so important. I hadn't thought of it that way.
And bread is the one thing that's very difficult for companies to get right with that. A lot of the gluten-free bread's very dry, very gritty. They won't hold together for sandwiches. Mine do.
Okay. Excellent. Well, we're going to use one of your flatbreads to make a breakfast pizza. So we better get started because we don't have a whole lot of time. So what do we need to do first?
I'm going to have you put some of the butter in here and get it hot. And
all
then
of this?
Just a tablespoon or something, just enough to cook the eggs in.
As I say, we can pull a Paula Dean here if you want.
We don't need that much butter.
Okay.
And these flatbreads work really great. They're actually grain-free, as are the rolls next to them, the grain-free almond rolls. So they have no grain at all in them, no dairy, no soy, and no potato, which these are also allergens that are common to a lot of people with celiac disease.
And this is what the final product's going to look like at the end, right?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm starting with. So those work good for sandwiches as well as for pizza crust, and we're going to make a flatbread breakfast pizza here.
Okay.
So I'm going to have you maybe hand me that plate.
Okay, this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm going to put some cheese on this. And
okay, I'm getting this butter going.
Going to town.
And there's some cheese
good.
underneath the counter there.
Sure. I worked up an appetite there with my weights there and my blanket.
Well, and I tell you what, this is really nice too because it's grain-free and dairy-free. It is also very low carb. So this isn't going to hurt your workout too bad.
Oh, good.
Excellent.
These flatbreads are only about 5 grams of carbs a piece.
Nice.
The rolls are about 8. And so once you get all your toppings on it, depending on what your toppings are, and with a breakfast pizza, most of this doesn't have carbs to amount to anything. The cheese has a little bit. So one of these will be about maybe 6 grams of carbs for the breakfast pizza.
That's really good, actually.
Okay, so I see green peppers and sausage and bacon and eggs. What do I need to do?
So when you get the butter melted there, just throw in the sausage and the green pepper. To start with, and just saute that a little bit to soften up the green peppers. The sausage is already cooked.
Got it. It has to be overwhelming for people who are experiencing these autoimmune diseases
because
to think about going gluten-free.
It is, because all of us love our sandwiches. We love our bread, our baked goods, our pizza, all these things, and gluten-free a lot of times just really is not as good.
Right.
The texture especially is what's off.
But that's why Janet is in business.
That
Right.
And that's why we're cooking now. We got to take a quick break, but we're going to come back, check all this stuff out, work on that delicious breakfast sandwich, and sample a little bit later. In the meantime, Janet, you'll stick around?
I will.
Excellent. Making some gluten-free deliciousness today with Bootin Gluten Bakery and Market. Say that 5 times fast. Yeah, we'll connect you over at CILiving.tv if you want more information.
Hey, don't let the rug get pulled out from underneath you because